Welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be designing my portfolio. Every creative person knows how daunting this task is. I've been saying for about a year now, I've been working on my portfolio, but today is the real day. Today is actually the day. I built out most of my portfolio already, so I will show that to you soon. I built it out off camera because this is my first website that I've ever made in Framer. I've never used Framer before this. I feel like if I was to record that process, it would have been so long. So I decided to just do most of it in the back end, but I'm still going to build out one page and maybe some fixes throughout this video. I built most of it behind the scenes because I wanted to just take my time with it. Anyways, I am pretty proficient when it comes to web development tools. I use Elementor on a regular basis for my job and WordPress, and I'm pretty proficient in Elementor, but I wanted to try something else. I wanted to try something, I don't want to say more modern because Elementor is like a great resource and it's very affordable. Yeah, I'm not gonna hate on Elementor. I just wanted to try something that was more interactive. It was definitely a little bit of a learning curve at first learning Framer because it's just different from a lot of website builders in WordPress. I think after building this one website, I've learned so much and it's such a powerful tool, and I will be probably using it again. My plan is to build out the CMS details page. So that's going to be the page that is going to hold my projects, my portfolio project. It's going to be that page. Yeah, it's going to be the details page of my case studies pretty much. I am going to be using their content management system for this because I feel like when it comes to creating websites, the most important thing is for it to be scalable, so you're not constantly like updating it. And I think their content management system is a great resource for creating something that's scalable. Anyways, I'm going to be creating that page. I'm going to draw out some of my own assets, and then I'm going to be making a GIF of all of the work I've done recently. I'm gonna put that in the hero section of my portfolio because when someone goes onto my page, I want them to see immediately my work. Anyways, I'm gonna get started. This is what I have so far. Please keep in mind that pretty much everything except for the form page, or except for the form section, I created the form fully because I didn't want to go back to that. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing all the copywriting in this video because I am not very good at copywriting, but this is what I have so far. This little dragon GIF is something that I made a very long time ago and I just needed something to fill the space. So that's my placeholder for now, is this dragon, but I'm going to replace this with all of my work. My idea for it was to have the left side be the navigation and the intro about me because I wanted to be able to see that throughout the entire site. So the navigation here on the left scrolls to their corresponding section. I love making forms. I don't know why. That's my favorite thing to design is forms, and my favorite thing to build. I love the way that they look, and I think it's like super fun, interactive part of your website that your clients are going to be interacting with. So I just thought, why not make it fun? I stole this favorite movie idea from my boss. Don't come for me. I just thought that was such a fun icebreaker and I liked it. Anyways, then all of these link to my social medias and I made a little bit of a hover. Let's go to the back end of my site. This is what it looks like. Sometimes the zoom in Framer is super sensitive and it will throw you into the abyss. This is my tablet and mobile version. I still need to add an about section here, but I'm not going to be doing that today. My projects section down here, I built all of this with their content management system, as you can see here. Also, I didn't really name my layers, so I'm a little bit exposing myself. It was my first time using Framer, and I think the next website that I make is going to be way more organized. The first thing that I need to do to build this portfolio projects page, I need to update the fields here. I kind of did the bare minimum when I made the fields the first time because I just wanted to create a placeholder. I think I'm going to add a couple more images. I'm going to go into here and again just I'm gonna just add some placeholder text in all of this so I can work with it, and then later I'm going to fill all this out. I'm gonna grab some just placeholder images so I can see what it's gonna look like, and I'm actually going to delete these. I'm gonna delete these and I'm going to duplicate. I don't know why I can't just directly publish. I have to save my item as a draft first and then publish it. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to pages, details page. I'm gonna make a details page. And then it has all of my stuff here. You can't see a lot of the text because its default is sent to black. I'm debating if I want to have a white background or a black background. I think I'm gonna leave it as this charcoal background because I think it'll bring more attention to my work. I think because I set this as formatted, I'm not able to change the color, so I'm gonna change that. Okay, finally. Okay, now I can edit the color. I feel like making websites, a lot of it is you trying to figure out why something isn't working, and it's just a bunch of troubleshooting. Anyways, so I have all my content here. I think I'm missing the taxonomy. Now I'm just going to build out this portfolio page. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. Okay, hello again. It's actually several hours later for me, if you're wondering why it's dark, but I had to take a break and run some errands because it's the weekend when I'm filming this, so I had to get some stuff done. But I finished the projects page. I'm really loving how everything is turning out. I was planning on making my own icons here, but I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do that because I was just not sure what I was going to put here. I feel like I could put web design, graphic design, you know, just like it has here, like SEO specialist. But I feel like I want something that's more niche, more specific, and I didn't know if I wanted to change that, or I definitely want to do some A/B testing. Oh, the camera kind of looks crazy. I wish I had a light behind me, but I don't have another lamp. Guys, I have no furniture in my house. Anyways, here is the project section. I added this little hover, which I think is super fun, and I keep playing around with it, and it's just so fun. Anyways, when you click on it, it'll take you to the project page. There's an option to go back because as you can see, there's no navigation. User experience wise, I am worried about this page. I feel like it could be confusing, and when you are making a website, you have to make everything as clear as possible and as simple as possible. I probably am going to refine that page as time goes on. There's also a load more option, which I really loved. My idea for this was to show like the content creation that I've been making here, more specifically the reels and TikToks that I make. I don't want to put the videos directly into the website because I feel like that's a no-no when it comes to web design, because it can cause a page to load very slowly, and that's not what you want, because if a page takes more than like 5 seconds to load, more than likely people are not going to go to it. Fun fact. Let me close my window. There's people outside. Okay, another idea I had was to link the content, post them on YouTube as a private listing and link them here, and I did that, but as you can see, nothing is showing up here. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. Also, I feel like it's kind of sketchy for me to put my videos into YouTube because I often put music in the background, and I know that YouTube will dox you for using that. The form section is still my favorite. The placeholder text here I put as Julia Fox because if you know me, you know that I love Julia Fox a lot. I wanted to also say that I took this section from another template. I did not build this. I do not know how to do these animations, but they're super duper cool. I can't remember the name of the template that I took this from or who it was by, but I will put it in the description. I spent some time taking apart that website to build this similar section, and that was super helpful, and I learned so much. If you ever are trying to get better at design stuff, whether it's graphic design or web design, always if you can take apart somebody's file. I've learned so much from doing stuff like that and watching other people design. I kind of wanted to break down a little bit how I built this. I think I already said that this is a sticky or a fixed navigation, and I made this into a component. If you are familiar with Framer, you know that they have different components, and I think that this tool is so powerful because I was able to make this, and it's just the same content here but different. And then these are all components, and so are these. The button is also a component. Also, I cannot for the life of me get this dot to center, so if you notice that, just know that you're not the only one, and I tried. Complicated back-end stuff, super annoying. I think that I want to add some drawings here. If you've seen any of my recent videos on Instagram, also follow me on Instagram. Oh wait, I'm just kidding. If you follow me on Instagram, I recently posted a Priscilla movie poster, and I kind of wanted to do something similar to the drawing style that I did in that video because I think that is one of my favorite designs I've ever made. And I made it in less than an hour. I think I'm going to screenshot this. So I'm going to airdrop it to my iPad. And this is how I always draw stuff. Always screenshot or export files and then put them into Procreate. It helps with the sizing, but also I remember my friend said something about how every time she goes into Procreate and she exports, it's always super blurry. My DPI on Procreate is 1500, I think. Let me see. Yeah. My DPI, can you see? It's 1500. I think you can even turn up the DPI even more than that. I'm not sure how I'm going to add this in. I was hoping I could do some kind of background image on this section, and I think I can do a background image, but I think that I might have to put it in another container. I'm gonna import this screenshot to my iPad. So I'm not going to screen record on my iPad because it just never goes well every time I try that. But what I'm going to do is set up a little time lapse on this here camera, and I'm going to just show you me drawing. Let me do that right now.